Hello guys, my name is Jackie and I'm a specialized IELTS tutor, and this is the video to introduce the newest IELTS speaking topics to examinees, and I hope that my video will be useful for your IELTS study. And if you want to get the newest IELTS study materials for your IELTS study, you can just send me email and I will send you the newest IELTS study materials for your study, and anyone can send me email. And if you visit my website, you can use a wide range of study materials for your study, and you don't have to pay money for that. So please just send me email and please just visit my website. Okay, so let me start with part 1. So today's part 1 topic is about a crowded place. The first one is, what places do you think are often crowded? And my answer is, nowadays, a majority of people lives in big cities and there are a lot of cars, people and buildings. So cities have a lot of high streets and city centers. And those places are crowded by a lot of people. And next one is, when was the last time you were in a crowded place? And my answer is, last weekend I visited a department store for shopping located in a city center with my family. As it was Sunday, that place was packed with a lot of people, so I felt a bit uncomfortable. So be packed with is be crowded with. And next one is, how do you feel when you are in a crowded place? And my answer is, usually a crowded place has a lot of people, so it is lively and bustling. So in crowded places, I can feel cheerful with other active people. But if a place is crowded too much, I might feel uncomfortable and very stuffy. Stuffy is you can't breathe, so you feel because so many people. Okay, that is stuffy. Okay, so they are the newest part 1 topics for IELTS, and if you want, you can practice with my example and you can modify my examples for your study. Okay, so let me turn to part 2. So today's part 2 topic is, describe a piece of good news you heard from the internet or TV. So as you heard, that is the topic asking you about the good news that you heard from TV or from the internet. So I'm going to read my example first and I'm going to explain it further. Okay, let me start. I would like to talk about the good news I heard from TV. In my daily life, I'm so busy because of my hectic schedule, and hardly do I have enough time to spend with my family. But last year, I got 7 consecutive holidays, so my family decided to visit the Memorial Museum of Korean War. And there, I could learn about Korean War, and especially I realized how disastrous it was. The problem is that Korea still has been separated for more than 60 years, and South and North Korea still have the hostility against each other. So I believe the majority of Korean people wishes Korean Peninsula to be unified again. Fortunately, last year there was a summit between South Korean president and North Korean leader to discuss the peace of Korea. And it was covered by media widely. I also watched that news on TV, and it was good news to Korea. It was good news to people because it was the first step to progress to unification of Korea. While watching the news, I was pleased to see two leaders shaking hands each other, and I think it was a good news. And as you heard, my example is about the summit which happened last year. And in the summit, South Korean President Moon Jae-in and North Korean leader Kim Jong-un, they met together to discuss the future and to discuss the unification of Korea. And they also talked about the nuclearization of Korea. So I think it was the great step to the peace of Korea. So I chose this case as my example for a good news. Okay, so if you want, you can modify my examples and you can practice with my example. So let me turn to part 3. And the first part 3 topic is, how do people in your country get news? And my answer is, before the development of the internet, people got news from newspaper. But as the internet and mobile devices have become common in people's life, majority of people read news on the internet because it is a very fast and convenient way of getting news. People can news very promptly whenever they want. So as you know, reading newspaper on the internet is very common because it is very fast and convenient. And next one is, do you think children should start watching news from a young age? And my answer is, although children are young, in the future, they also will make a social life as an adult. And getting news is very important for adults because they can get the newest information and knowledge. So by learning how to read news in childhood, children can get used to reading news, and it will have positive effects on their future life. And next one is, what kinds of news do people in your country like? And my answer is, I think several kinds of news are popular for people. For example, news related to politics is very popular, and people like to have arguments over political issues, and sometimes those arguments are overheated. Also, people like news about sports and entertainment because it is interesting and less serious than political news. So nowadays, people tend to like news which is not serious, like sports and entertainment. And next one is, what kinds of good news do people like to hear? And my answer is, firstly, people are very interested in economy because a national and international economy is closely related to their making money. So people like to hear good news about economy. Also in my country, people like to hear news about the peace and unification because they can stabilize their life. So my example is, people are interested in about economy and unification because it has very great impact on their life. And last part 3 topic is, Why do some people like to share news on social media? And my answer is, around the world, billions of people use social media, such as Facebook and Instagram. So if people upload news on social media websites, it can spread and shared very quickly, and people can respond and reply to that news very quickly. Also, they can exchange their opinion immediately. That is the advantage of using social media services for news. Okay, so nowadays it is very common for people to share news on social media because the news can spread very quickly and people can exchange their opinions on the news regardless of their nationality and where they are. So it is very common. Okay, so I'm gonna upload more useful videos. Thank you for watching this video. Thank you.